Guten Abend, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... So just a bit of an update before we actually start proceedings. So you might notice, if you were here yesterday, that I had a different pair of headphones on, and I've now proceeded to put back the other one on, the ones that I said had broken. And that is precisely what happened. Yes, these ones did in fact break. There was actually a little piece that that had dislodged itself. The plastic had come apart, and then the other thing was lodged. I couldn't put the metal thing back in. So I decided, okay, well, now it's a good time to switch over to the spares. And I was testing out the spares today, and all seemed to go rather well for the most part. But then, am I quiet for everyone else? Let me just check my levels. Okay, I put my levels up. Hopefully that's better. What was I saying? I think I just nudged a bunch of stuff on the audio interface. No, I completely lost train of thought now. Oh yes. So I was testing them out and they worked perfectly fine up until the moment that I tested them on, a recording space in StreamYard. And as it turns out, the problem was not the headphones, or specifically, but the problem was the headphones in conjunction with StreamYard. Apparently, those specific headphones wanted to use both the input and output options to calibrate to StreamYard. What's the problem with that? The input kind of needs to be this thing. You've all heard when it accidentally defaults to the headphones or to the webcam audio and how terrible that sounds by comparison. So yeah, this is the better option overall, if I dare say so myself. So I decided, okay, you know what? I can't figure out a way around this because I tested a bunch of things. Turns out it was just easier to properly look at where the metal pole was going, pry open the plastic, give it a big old ram, and yeah, it's fixed now. So yeah, these are back. So that's what happened. So sorry about what happened about yesterday. But something that did come up from yesterday was that we were talking about reviewing this particular video. British Pop Season 1, Episode 6, Twin Chaos. The request came in at the last second right before I cut the cameras. So, it was, we got it in. So, I suppose this is the second time that I'm looking at a Tree Pop video in a row where it's just one video rather than the usual pairing that I have. This one is actually 8 minutes long, which is essentially feature length for Tamsin's channel. So, we're in for for something. I don't know how to really quantify that aside from 8 minutes. So, I guess we better go ahead and start. Maybe now, finally, in these 8 minutes, I'm really hoping we get to see the rest of the British pops that, haven't been showing up consistently. So yeah, we'll see if that actually happens or not. I can only hope, because we have enough time to cover that. So yeah, without further ado, on with the review. Now this, I think, is loud. Oh no, it's just my volumes. Yeah, I'm back to factory settings. I need to recalibrate my own headphones. Okay. Anyways, what's the point of me being a British pop? Someone else deserves this chance more. Wouldn't be an issue if you recruited idols in a faster and more timely manner. Okay, that was interesting. I don't think do we normally have the paint smudge with the sound effects? I don't remember that being. Yeah, because normally Tam's effects are pretty fantastic. Why was that just a paint smudge compared with the actual sound effect? Anyways, Tamsin, are you okay? No! Go and find someone to replace me. I'm done. We're not going to find a replacement when you are perfect. I get the sentiment. Budget went into the camera angles, it would seem. I am noticing, I'm noticing that a lot more in here. Like, that one camera angle there seemed like, you know how sometimes there's like one gacha software, I think it's KineMaster, that depending on what package you have, I think sometimes it just automatically zooms stuff in. So there are a couple of videos back in the day that had random zoom-ins that the creator didn't put in there. Others that very much were put in there on purpose, but those are a whole other matter. That one reminded me of those, but the other ones are quite good. Listen, you are the best sister I could ever ask for. Deep down, we're not gonna let anything stop us, not even the bunglers. You know something? Actually, this speech from Isla sounds like something that will be in the actual Super Pop series. Actually, like that is the way that they talk normally. Because we have a sisterly bond, and our bond is stronger than ever. Okay, that's more of a song lyric from the source material, not really dialogue, but hey, still the same. So what do you say? Do you want to be a pop again? Yes, I do now. Okay, that was a little bit quick there. Also, is this a piano cover of Die With a Smile? Because it sounds familiar. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen next, I think. Oh, never mind. I literally was singing the chorus in my head, but those are the lyrics to the chorus. So, yeah. I would say copyrighted normally, but it's surprising because because Tamsin is normally so diligent about avoiding copyright. In fact, there's a large chunk of the original Jump Up and Trust Pop series that is just missing and gone completely, because the songs in it were copyrighted, and Tamsin just decided to just nuke the entire thing. So, yeah, that's why Jump Up and Trust Pop has like season 1, a part season 2, and then it skips to 4 after like a couple episodes. That's why. So yeah, Tamsin hates copyright and said so in the live chat one time when I questioned this very thing. So yeah, interesting that we're going this route. Even the source material, as blatant as they were with copying the titles of popular songs of the era, and then just making an original song with the exact same title. For reference, Into the Unknown was the name of one of the episodes. But yeah, it's okay. As much as they did that, they still covered their bases with something. But yes, how bizarre. Yes, curiouser and curiouser. Anyways. Yeah. Just for a while. Yeah, something like that. Okay. In a non-musical property, they sing on a thing. Not at that octave, they won't. No way. Yeah, in a normal circumstance, in a non-musical product, the song in question would either be like a callback to a previous one that like the group had performed, or it would be something else, and it's a musical number. Weirdly enough, I've in real life I can actually see this happening, where people like the two people sing a song that they both they both happen to know that means a lot to them to some degree, and that's would be the way around it. It's just it's interesting to see that in that octave, implying that Lady Gaga has a lower vocal range than Bruno Mars. Okay. All right. If you want to hear my actual attempt to sound like Bruno Mars, go ahead and check out the Gene song. Plug. No, but what I was saying was that it's interesting to see like the realistic approach in a musical property. I'm not sure whether or not whether or not I'm in favor of that change or not. Really, I feel like there's probably a good argument for both. Actually, I don't know. You see, anything is possible. Yes, even getting away with content ID, I guess. I understand. Whoa, our outfits have changed. But how? Implying that your outfits don't normally change on a regular basis when you go back and forth from pop form, but okay. It's probably our sisterly bond. Oh, does that mean if I didn't want to buy clothes again, I just have to bring my brother with me? Actually, that probably would work. Now let's go and stop my evil clone. Evil clone, whatever your name is, we are here to stop you. Your days of impersonating me are over. It'd be really funny if the evil clone was just chilling somewhere, just like, on break. Yeah, maybe the budget's gone for this episode because it's so long. Maybe that's the whole, like, quality versus quantity thing. Maybe that's what's happening today. I don't know. Anyways, so, the little pop returned. Did you get tired of running away like a coward? My sister isn't a coward. She just got stressed. It's perfectly normal. Valid, but also, she did literally just quit right out of the gate. But, again, I get the sentiment. I don't recall asking for your opinion. Why does that sound like something that Emily would say? Don't you know it's rude to speak when not spoken to? Don't speak to my sister that way. You have no right to. And you have no right to be a pop. You're too weak. If you can't handle leading your sister, how can you ever expect to lead a whole team? Oh, is that the character arc? The other British pops haven't shown up yet because Tamsin needed to learn how to lead them first, or I guess to learn that she has the capability of leading them. Whichever way that would work. Okay, interesting idea. Usually that kind of thing wouldn't be done 6 episodes into a series. A series that is marketed around that. Normally that's the kind of thing you would do in a backdoor pilot. Like, I don't know if Tamsin had this exact idea for this exact character arc or how far back it actually goes. Oh, whoops, sorry. But the way that I would have handled it, let's say, assuming that she did, let's assume that she had the idea a long time ago. What I would have done here, instead of waiting 6 episodes to get to this point, is do like a backdoor pilot in maybe Treat Pop Adventures. Have an episode dedicated to setting up the spin-off, or at least maybe not the spin-off, but at least like the sister series, which is the British Pops. Have maybe the other members be like a part of it in some way, or hint at Tamsin wanting to form her own group or become more of a leader, or I guess Majesty handing off more responsibility to the person who used to be an independent agent. I don't know, whatever that might have looked like. That's what I would have done there. Make it like a 1-episode thing, and then dedicate the actual series that you've marketed around the 4 characters about the 4 characters. Right, did the Badger go to grammar lessons? It might have done. I haven't seen any Tamsinism so far, or any words that have been missing at the moment. I mean, that is very impressive. I just realized that there's the marking on the hand is that's the pop ring. Got it. That's nice. And it moved in tandem with the body as well. Which I guess means it was probably done in an art program together rather than, frame by frame, I imagine. And yeah, visual storytelling. Those intense zoom-ins seem to be reserved for non-dialogue, which, hey, at least there is non-dialogue. Yeah. Yeah, and in a longer video as well. Honestly, I'm sort of leaning on, yeah, you can sacrifice the effects budget a little bit. We can handle that. it seems to be going pretty well so far. Although I say that, speaking of the effects budget, we have at least a little bit here with some dots with the opacity turned down for the dark spheres, but it works. Okay, well, aside from the fact that it glitched over a frame, unfortunately, I have used that exact same effect. That is the smoke that I used for the emergence of Abraxas in the episode that I was where I did a scene of which I was in charge of the visual effects for that scene, but not the sound effects. And then it turns out that Aiden put the rapid teleportation sound effect at the very end of Abraxas disappearing in his like suspenseful slow puff of smoke that no one else has. Oh well. But yeah. No Candy Crush. Well, yeah, I think we're done with Candy Crush. I hope we're done with Candy Crush. Yeah, the reason I mention, well, apart from the fact that I recognize the visual and it's a funny story, another good reason to mention the rapid versus slow teleportation is because this effect, by its nature, is pretty slow. I think I actually had to speed up this effect, if I remember correctly, when I used it for Abraxas. I mean, KW can probably vouch for this, as someone who's reacted to all Fallen Angels. But yeah, I think I sped this up, because yeah, like it's even though it was meant to be a slow effect, I couldn't have it taking up too much time. So yeah, I think that's it. I was gonna say something else. I just realized that Kenobi said I made these outfits. Can confirm as a so true as to what the why different shading and color helps. I mean, if you just want to demonstrate the outfits and not have them feature in the episode, then then I would have been a little bit suspicious when presumably the code for them was requested, unless these have been copied from them, which is also possible. But I don't know. Was the chroma key visible? I don't think it was. And the reason for that's partly because I know how to mess around with thresholds, and I also wasn't super worried about messing around with thresholds to the point where the smoke is like undefined. Because actually, what I did was I had I had it I had the opacity down as well a bit, so you could see Abraxas' shadow emerging from it before it cleared. So it wasn't the full. So I think I was fine there. I think I actually also used this this effect or a different smoke effect in those the scene of weather pops that I have on YouTube memberships. Although then again, Emily can confirm that one. I don't remember. Yeah. Also, this is the second time you've made redesigned characters and you didn't add noses. It's a while back before I started to remember to add noses. I'm pretty sure it was long after Bond mentioned the whole noses thing, but all right. Again, my policy with that is, if the characters already existed in a form without noses, they should, it makes sense for them to continue without them, but hey, so be it. Oh, okay. A fast smoke transition to suggest the small smoke transition that is still climbing up her frame. Are we in King Boomy's palace or something? Why the slow growing prison? Oh, whoops. Speaking of fast, that was I didn't have time to read that. Okay, here we go. I'm fine, Isla. Just focus on taking that imposter down. I like how Isla went back to recover Tamsin, only for Tamsin to immediately get put in danger after coming back. Like, obviously she couldn't have prepared for that, but it's just, there's a little bit of irony to that when you say, I guess Tamsin reappeared in order to be Isla's meat shield for this combat. Interesting. Oh wait, no, Shuddy's crying about the lack of noses. It's like Mr. T. I pay the fool who don't have no noses. Makes me so sad. Makes me real mad. I don't know, whatever it was. Sidekick? I am no sidekick. Me and my sister are a duo. We work together. Except right now that she's captured, she's indisposed and therefore I shall work alone. But normally, under most circumstances, we work together. We're better together. Yeah, that song. Also from the source material. The imposter's outfit, I want to vomit, not gonna lie. Yeah, this outfit does remind me a little bit of old Tamsin outfits, but that's really only the vibrance behind it. Like, if you tone down the saturation of the color on the outfit, it wouldn't look as bad. Or it wouldn't be, as dazzling. That's really the only thing here. But anyways, you claim to be a duo, and yet you are so easily replaced by that Eli girl. If anything, you're just someone she keeps around purely because you're her sister. I do like how she's managing to, get under their skin and, manipulate them with the precise words that would break them down. That is a fun idea. It's very Brennan Mulligan, actually. I wonder what that means what that's going to mean in terms of making them when they become a quartet, which is obviously the intention. What's that going to seem like? Could it possibly be putting Isla through some sort of cat noir-esque inferiority complex of of being one half of a duo and then suddenly being a part of a team that seems very dispensable in most situations. But I wonder. Because for the record, as much as people hate that arc in Miraculous, I personally don't. It makes perfect sense for him to feel that way. Of course he would. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. Where are all the grammar issues? I'm paranoid now. Jacob, where are they? Oh my goodness. Shut up! Just shut up! Aw, little Isla is angry over the truth. What are you gonna do? Are you just gonna stand there like a coward? Or are you actually gonna fight me? This imposter seems to really like the word coward, apparently. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Has Gusky been helping with her script writing? Oh. Okay. I didn't realize that. It's still an improvement. I've just been crediting the wrong person, so fantastic job, Ghost Kitty, at helping improve the scripts and quite possibly also lengthening them as well. Actually, Ghost Kitty, you've essentially become me in a sense, because this is exactly what I do with Fallen Angels. Not necessarily the lengthening part. The episodes are mostly long enough already. Give or take the odd monologue here or there in as part of it, honestly. But yeah, the rest of it, the spelling corrections, the arcs, the actual seemingly planned and structured format. Okay, I wonder if that's why there's a whole bit about Tamsin not being prepared to be a leader. It wasn't Tamsin that was setting this up; it was Ghost Kitty setting up an excuse for why we've taken 6 episodes to get to the point where the other British pops are introduced. Maybe that would be it. It does explain so much, but if I'm correct on that, it would explain a whole lot more. So yeah, here's hoping one of them shows up in the chat sometime soon. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Whoa. Go back. I want to see that effect again. Oh, wait a second. I thought there was I thought there was like, you know, customly drawn hands, but no, they were just crossed. Okay, never mind. Ooh, okay, like an actual an actual marionette, not marionettes, but marionette. Uh, suddenly springing into action with the different limbs moving somewhat independently. This, I think, is where the effects budget seems to have gone mostly. You think you had us cornered, but now you're just outnumbered. Prepare for trouble. Make it double. How absolutely pathetic. To protect our sister from asphyxiation, to exhibit genetic replication. There you go. I messed that up. I was trying. I tried. You know, I have to say it is purely from Pokemon Bridged. Once again, so Pokemon is a series that I don't think I have watched a single episode of in English. Like, I've always watched that in Spanish. It's like Pokemon and Steven Universe are the two shows I think I've never seen an English episode of. So yeah, purely the abridged series. To improve our scripts a drastic amount, to reduce our enemies by doubling the count. Isla! Also Isla. Oh my goodness. I am a clone too, one better and stronger than the actual Tamsin will ever be. That's right! What's happening when I'm here? What? Don't tell. What's the matter with James? I know. Slash Team Rocket in general. There was like an inoffensive antagonist of all time. Done to my clone. Look at her. She looks like season 1 of Anyway. We're nerding out on each other's wavelength. This is nothing new. Exactly. Unless it's the voice. With knowing KW, it could be the voice. You never know. It's quite simple. I made into my own sidekick, so now you're outnumbered. And now that we have successfully captured Pikachu, I mean Tamsin, we've captured Tamsin. We're gonna get out of here. That's right. Nothing wrong with James. I just like James's voice. Yeah, I thought that might have been the reason. Stop predicting why. I'm not predicting anything. I'm following a. Well, I mean, I guess it was. I'm following a consistent pattern with you. What should I do? Oh wow, the smoke actually got to her in the end. Just off screen. By the way, what I actually did, another thing I did with the smoke effect for Abraxas is I actually increased the size of it, or like I adjust it so that the moment that the smoke reaches its peak is actually where you get to see like it's actually where like at the height level that Abraxas would be merged, so he'd be like in the middle cloud. So yeah, if you resize the effect, which would have already had to have been done because because it comes as a complete green screen package, like full screen thing. So yeah, just resize the effect a little bit more and have it so that it goes, you know, up and reaches the peak and it stays there for a few seconds. I'm trying to remember, did I also reverse it so it would go back? No, that was for the deteleportation right before it had the rapid sound effect. No, that was the reverse one. Okay. Yeah. That was a lot of the smoke effect. I also performed it with Sam's red nightmare gas. That effect was fun and challenging to play with. Apparently, yeah. We're in the Shadow Realm. Where's Yugi when you need him? Ah, yes, another voice that I have from the abridged series. Do not be afraid, Tamsin. I shall guide you through, and we will challenge him to a children's card game. That ought to teach him. What should I do? Ida needs me out there. Summon the Dark Magician. Who said that? Did she really? Who are you? Show yourself! Did even joke they actually might do that. What, challenge her to a children's card game? I don't mind seeing that. I don't mind seeing that at all, actually. Hello, Darkness Melfra. Yeah. I am everywhere, but I am also nowhere. I am the air you breathe in, the smoke that taints. I am the danger. I'm the one who knocks. I am Fae. I am God. I am Mother. Pharaoh, you playing Fae Godmother again? Hush, Yugi. The Pharaoh is busy. Oh my goodness. Alright. Continuing. Lady Tamsin danced, all alone at night, in the midst of wild darkness. That's the most Kyber thing you've said ever. Alright. No, not fed Jacob, actually. No, I'm just... I don't know. Apparently I'm chaotic today. I guess I guess playing the Pharaoh does that to me, or just thinking about abridged series in general, of which we've mentioned 2. Anyway, your lungs. I am your happiest thoughts. I am your darkest thoughts. I am the voice inside. I am Cray Cray Jacob, and also the Pharaoh. You that acts as both your devil and angel. My conscience? No, I am Ghost Kitty. I have brought order and sense to this world. Conscience, yes, indeed. Well, if you're my conscience, then can you tell me what to do? All I can say is believe. Sorry, I trained on a Jiminy Cricket. That's all I've really got. I have brought order and sense to this script. I have brought freedom, justice, and security to my new empire, and also order and censor the script. I've done all these things. Pretend to worship Ghost Kitty even when she arrives. We just start going, ash and dust to dust. But I believe in myself? Do you? Then why did you run away? Okay, as much as I like how long this episode has gotten, and actually, to be fair, I can't complain about the setup of this because I had a very similar moment in a book that I once wrote before the file got lost to the sands of time. Um, but didn't we already do this? Did we already have a character pepper up and then immediately have her go back into this point? I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm just thinking, like, from a hero's journey perspective, we got, like, the darkest moment last episode, and now we're going back again to, like, redo not the darkest moment again. It feels like it's a bit repetitive, but, anyway. Oh, okay, I was going, okay, fair enough. Hope you enjoyed the Pharaoh and James, I suppose. Ooh, Ashley. Honestly, that voice works for both James and Maximilian Pegasus. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because Gabby also likes Pegasus. Dang it, yeah, I should have thought that. Anyway. Your clone was right about one thing. You can't expect to run a team if you don't have the bravery. If you can't trust yourself, how can your teammates trust you? You're right. I have to believe, like Isla believes in me. That is right. Believe in the Isla that believes in you. Believe it! That is one superpower all heroes must possess. Including the way the gumption to pronounce the word superpower correctly without stuttering. Like I just did. Finally. Does that imply that Isla didn't believe hard enough that she could get rid of the smoke, which is why she kicked it earlier? Anyways, Isla, are you okay? Yep, she's fine. It's like, are you okay? Hello. Sis, you're back. My face does not suggest happiness, but I am happy. And yeah, I am fine, but I don't know about my clone. She corrupted my clone. And don't let my neutral expression fool you. I am the real one. She inhaled hallucinogenic gas and saw God. Imagine if that's what happened with Ella as well. She's just... the tree starts, like, spewing a bunch of spores and just, like, hallucinates Fey Godmother. That would explain so much. Anyway. Better you. And more beautiful. Yes, I am much more beautiful. And I am able to smile as well. Take that. You will never be better than my sister. My sister is unique and wonderful. Don't let my neutral expression fail you either. Yeah, I think that's one thing that Tamsin Dawes needs to work on is the expressions of the characters. They don't look average enough. Like, at least the eyebrows. Change the eyebrows a bit, yeah. Explain how she rambled about trolls. But that happened before before the Fey Godmother appeared. I don't know. I feel like people thought that already about her. You know, 'cause crazy and all that. Anyway, my sister is unique and wonderful. There is only one Isla, just like there's only one me. Didn't Isla get cloned a bajillion times in a previous episode of Troop Up and Trust Pop? I'm pretty sure that happened. Are you sure about that? I had to be like John Cena. I'm sure no one would notice if we took your places. Normally I would say that's great, but I mean, since I think Eli was raised with a doppelganger for a long time, and yeah, that guy kind of has a little bit of credence. And also based on the last episode of D&D that I played. Yeah, sometimes, you know, even the closest people to the protagonist don't just make you know, make an immediate judgment and seem to think that the real you is the one that happened to not be around until they've just showed up out of nowhere. Even though you have an alibi, but anyway. Our friends would notice. You may be our clones, but you are not us. You will never be us. Side rant. That's actually one thing that that I really like about Witch. Well, not that there's that this is in a short supply, but it's actually something where again, only read this in Spanish, so my terminology might be a little bit off, but their version of clones is something that they refer to as astral drops. Don't ask me why. I have no clue where that name came from. It just one of them randomly says it one day, and they were like, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll run with that." But yeah, they create them, and then because one of the members of which got kidnapped, and so they had to create a clone to cover up the fact so people wouldn't think, oh well, where is she, so her family wouldn't worry, because she's in a different dimension, so of course they would worry if they knew. But yeah, that raised the question in the in one of the other members of whether or not her mother would even notice if an astral drop replaced her one day. And so when they had to go and rescue the one that got kidnapped, they create their own astral drops. Turns out that the one that the one created by well, I'm just gonna say a name, Will, because it's more complicated than saying like, hey, one member versus another member. So Will creates a faulty astral drop that has no memories and has to follow a list of instructions, and that's what gives away to the mum that she didn't seem like herself. So it's like, oh yeah, you did notice. Which, yeah, is a little bit cheating because of the fact that didn't have memories, rather than us being like the actual different you. But the astral drops stick around for a long time, and it's established that every time they use them, it's the same ones. So they actually develop a unique personality, basically, and identity complex, because of course they would. So one of them even actually chooses like a different name for herself. It's a whole interesting thing. So yeah, that's there's something that I like, is the fact that you can actually sort of tell that because just because someone looks like you or is meant to behave like you does not mean that they will end up behaving like you, and people will notice the difference because people did notice the difference. So yeah, in this episode, you either die a pop or live long to get replaced by a clone. Oh my. Why are there so many me's in the Pops franchise? I feel like I'm gonna be sick from all this sappy stuff. Which, yeah, further proof that the behavior is different. Honestly, I thought that oh wait, are they gonna talk no jutsu their way into like having a vomit up the possession? Isla's right. You may be our clones, but you aren't us. You don't have our bond. Oh, okay, fair enough. Honestly, if they had done the talk no jutsu angle, I would have said do a sing no jutsu angle, because that's exactly what they do in the source material. Honestly, it would be the perfect excuse to have somebody who's weak to sappy speeches and corny lines exposed to a pop song that, on average, are comprised entirely of corny lines. There it is. There's one moment of Tamsinism in there. One moment to rule them all, baby. That was quite unfortunate. And I would have taken as like one cut after that, but before it, I mean, like a frame earlier. But okay. Oh no, this isn't fair. You two have each other and your teammates. Meanwhile, I'm just supposed to be alone. What teammates? We haven't found them yet. What team? Wildcats? Anyway. You don't have to be. You will live to regret this. And you regret not accepting our help. I like how she's like declaring verbally, like, "Oh no, I will betray you at some point. I will betray your trust. Regardless, and it will most likely be your undoing. So yeah, just as long as you're okay with that, yeah, pleasure to do business with you. Yep, okay, all right, thank you. Yep." You don't have to be like this. You won't be alone if you join our side, because there are no villain organizations that she could go to. Why did she not think of doing that? Actually, if she's that alone, why did she not think to do that? And also, can I just like ask the question: why is Isla's clone liable to be destroyed and put on Do Not Disturb permanently? But I guess Tamsin's clone gets to live. Where does one draw the line? I will never join you. Goodbye, pathetic Pops. Wait! No! Oh, okay, Shazzy didn't go. Alright then. Sure, I guess the smoke needed to buffer a little bit. Okay. We did our best and she refused. It's not your fault. You know what? You know what? I'm going to save this to the end. I was going to say something, I'll save it to the end. Yeah, I guess you're right. Troublemaker? They tried to get me to join their side, but I refused. Oh wait, so she's not alone. She has Troublemaker. What was the problem exactly? Those Pops really are soft if they try to recruit you. We will just have to use that to our advantage. Show them what happens when you try to choose kindness. Mercy isn't an option in this game. Further proof that she should have accepted the offer and then betrayed them because she said it out loud and they still didn't care, so, I deserve what's coming to them. Let's bring back my other group. The Rad Pops, as opposed to the Bad Pops, I guess. That could work. We just need to find people we can trust. Any ideas? How about Trust Pop? Or Evil Trust Pop, or whoever, because that was the character that we had from the previous continuity, even though there was no good Trust Pop because she was called Izzy Pop instead of True Pop and Trust Pop. But anyway. I have discovered my darkness can corrupt people. Perhaps we can corrupt some civilians, then make them our army. And they can be my friends, and we'll play together all the time. Anyway. And that can work. And I can perhaps create something so they don't break through your darkness. Perhaps I'll take inspiration from Majesty and create some rings. Oh my goodness, the Lord of the Rings reference was topical. The Lord of the Rings reference was topical, everyone. Alright, there we go. That's a good idea. Then it's settled. It appears the world is... Oh, there. It appears the world is about to become a little... darker. More! That's what it says there. It just snaps back to, like... She's just like... E. Okay, what an ending. Alright, well, I guess we didn't get the British Pops in this episode, or the other team members here either. Alright then. We're almost like a full way through like a typical Gacha season, honestly. Like 2/3 done. But yeah, like most of the nonsensical stuff was probably right at the very end. Not gonna lie. Although it was actually paired up with the thing that I said I was going to comment comment on, and I'm going to comment on it now. So, um, the part where like they try to reach out to her and to the evil clone, and she doesn't take it, um, is of course the classic cliche of like join us, you'll be happier, uh we can actually be friends basically, and like that classic method of villain redemption, which yeah, fair enough, that could work. um but so it's a trope that we've seen, but actually it has a little bit of something extra here that I think might go a little bit underappreciated. um the evil clone, like just said before, that no one would notice if that she replaced Tamsin permanently. Obviously, that was made to be villain rhetoric and whatnot, but still. And then I mentioned the whole thing about the astral drops not behaving the same way. And actually, lo and behold, right afterwards, we have a scene where they reach out to the evil clone and she refuses their help and leaves, which proves that she's not like the original Tamsin, because the original Tamsin at the start of the episode had someone reach out to her and she was swayed to come back. The beginning and the end actually mirror each other, with Tamsin even being the one to extend the same invitation that she needed mere moments ago. Now that is how you do a full circle story right there for an episode. So yeah, kudos for that. I don't know if that was Ghost Kitty's idea or Tamsin's, but whoever decided on that idea needs more praise. So, fantastic idea. So, yeah, we had a longer episode, which might have meant more chaos once upon a time, but it seems like this partnership actually works. Because, yeah, like, even if the effects budget was slightly cut, maybe it's because it was due to time, I think. Having to do, like, more effects for a longer video, gets more grating over time. Part of the reason the musical episodes get so delayed is because they got so much longer for quite some time. Next one should be shorter, actually. But anyway, uh, I think there should be more partnerships like this in in Gacha. I mean, obviously, in my experience, like the partnerships and collaborations that I have formed have mostly been of like sharing each of the disciplines of story crafting, then video editing, and etc. etc. But actually, I feel like we need this kind of setup too, because there are some people out there who are fantastic at visuals and have like honed their craft. But we've seen what that happens, where every time you look at a show with good visuals, you think, okay, the story is going to be atrocious, because so often that's the case. And then you have other people like like myself. When I started, I didn't know the first thing about visuals, but I had writing experience, and that garners the cult following of Mutant Girl that has persisted to this day. And yeah, like I have tried multiple times to form a similar type of like collaborative partnership with somebody who's more passionate about like the visual side of gacha content. Not that I don't enjoy that, but I enjoy it less. Paired up with me, a real Austin and Ally situation where one person's like the front person with like the visuals and such, and the other person's the back person, like with all the words. It kind of is like that. And I've done that a few times. That's what Puppy Love was supposed to be originally, when I was when I decided to team up with Shorty, and so I went over ambitious with the visuals before I had to like pick up my own slack myself. There's also a couple of times I've tried to work with Maya 2.0, for example. And honestly, even now, that might be something that I do if Prism and I take the periodic table element story forward, which we have talked about a little bit. That might be that might be something. Not to say that Prism is particularly weak on story or anything, but those visuals particularly. So yeah, so the fact that I've been trying to like seek that out since basically 2019, because that's when Puppy Love was first pitched as an idea, and like we first announced it was going to happen, and started working on it. So basically, since the beginning of my gacha career, I've been trying to do that at some point with some person. So I feel like that's because I feel like it really is, uh, that you do get the best of both worlds when people who represent those two worlds can come together in some way. So yeah, the fact that this has proven so fruitful right off the get go, hopefully is a proof of concept. Obviously, I'm shows like Final Break of a similar thing, where Emily, and to a lesser extent like Aiden and I, going through the script doing revisions and such. Emily's in charge of most of the script and story, and Bon is the animator. Same idea. Um, so yeah, that's that's really like the best takeaway that I can take from this. Use this video as an example of how good the results can be, and I'm more hopeful now that we'll get to the point of leading the whole team, considering that there's now at least an excuse for why it hasn't happened, or an explanation rather, bit of an excuse actually, or an attempt at an excuse for why it hasn't happened yet. Um, yeah, it feels like it's a case of like an emergency writing decision. But as far as emergency writing decisions go, it actually kind of works, kind of. So yeah. Also, you say it helps a lot. Yeah, like another person here, like Shadi, for example. You've that like in your stuff, particularly because we reviewed like your content a lot. Your story's all over the place, but your action is second to none. So yeah, you never know. I feel yeah. Let's normalize that. Let's normalize that in the gacha community. That's the best I can do. But the theme of two again. Let's compliment each other. Not quite a twin situation, but definitely something that could be akin to preparing for trouble and making it double. So with that, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.